there, John from the future here. This video was originally supposed to be out yesterday, but I didn't have it finished in time, which is why I'm going to be repeatedly saying the election is tomorrow, even though it was today. Sorry about that, but the good news is, this video is out at the same time as the proper full UK exit polls, so you could go and check whether I was right immediately. So that's nice at least. Anyway, on with the show. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd and welcome to the Worms Armageddon Political Simulation Machine 2024 Special. And, okay, I know what you might be thinking right now. John, what are you talking about? You can't predict the political future of the UK with a game of worms, and, okay, you might say that, but my political simulation machine does in fact have a significantly better success rate at predicting the future than most actual political commentators do. Like, seriously, the last time I allowed this machine out of its vault, I asked it who was going to be the UK Prime Minister after Liz Truss, and you know what it told me? It said the next Prime Minister is going to be Rishi Sunak, but his reign is going to be short and it's going to end in failure. So basically, my copy of Worms Armageddon is haunted by a magic ghost that knows the future. Okay, John, I hear you cry. You have convinced us. You do indeed possess a magical machine that can predict the political future of the world. But how precisely does it work? And, right, here's how we do things in the Worms Armageddon political simulation machine. What we do is we make AI teams of worms fight each other to see who ultimately wins. And because we're trying to predict the UK general election, that means that each team is going to represent a specific political party. So, okay, let's introduce the competitors. Team 1, the Labour Party, currently the frontrunners according to, conventional non-worms related political polling, very likely to win the election tomorrow, but honestly, can we say anything for certain until Worms Armageddon has had its say? So, right, they have been awarded 8 worms for their team, each worm being a prominent member of the Labour Shadow Cabinet. Yes, I said Shadow Cabinet, no, it's not as exciting or sexy as it sounds. Team number 2, the Conservatives, our current ruling party, but maybe not for too much longer, and given they've been in power for 14 years at this point, I've decided, that they're going to be represented not just by some of their current MPs, but also by all their previous leaders. So, Liz Truss, Theresa May, they all get to be present and correct, even though some of them aren't actually standing as MPs in this election. It just felt appropriate, damn it. And I know what you're thinking, John, why do the Conservatives also have 8 worms? According to the polling, they're very unlikely to win, and that's the thing. I can't just give them less worms because they're not doing very well in polls. That would bias the result, okay? My role is the impartial referee. Alright, Labour and the Conservatives are both big political parties that have won elections in the past. Therefore, they should be given the same number of worms. And the game will decide which of them will win the election. The smaller parties, however, I feel it is fair, yes, they do get given a slightly fewer worms. So the Lib Dems, they've been given 4 worms. Now, currently, they're a very small political party, but according to some projections, they could be about to win a very big number of seats. So, right, they're represented by their leader, deputy leader, and a couple of other prominent MPs, so let's see how they get on. Coming in next, a newcomer. These guys haven't showed up in my previous videos because they didn't exist at the time. Reform, Nigel Farage's new party. Polling reasonably well, but yes, thanks to the slightly weird way the UK does elections, with its first past the post system, a good number of votes doesn't necessarily actually convert into a good number of MPs, so are Reform actually going to break through and get a whole bunch of MPs? Are they going to get nothing at all? Worms is about to tell us, okay? So many questions are about to be answered by this terrifying magical machine. One slight issue, mind, which is, no one actually knows who any of the Reform candidates are apart from Nigel Farage. So, right, Reform will be represented this evening by Nigel Farage from the Mirror Dimension, or Figel Niraj, Nigel Farage but he's a robot, NigelBot 4000, and Nigel Farage's secret clone to replace him if need be in the future, Melissa Farage. Coming up next, the other parties of the UK. Very small or regional parties that could still have a really significant impact in certain areas of the UK. So we have got Carla Denyer acting for the Green Party, John Swinney and Rena Purewith are for the Scottish and Welsh Nationalists respectively. Representing Northern Ireland, we've got Gavin Robinson and Mary Lou MacDonald representing their two biggest parties, the DUP and Sinn Féin. And a bit of a wild card right at the end here. We've got Jeremy Corbyn, because despite being the former Labour leader, he's standing as an independent in this election, so this is technically where he belongs, so we'll see if he's after some cocking revenge on his former colleagues. And finally, my favourite bit of the political simulation machine, the UK, which will be played by me. Not that I'm actually fighting, of course, instead I will just be passing at every turn. Each of these worms simply represents a particular group of people, a policy, an idea, something of that nature, so that we get to see not just who wins the election, but who's going to crash the economy, who's going to kill the NHS, all that good stuff. So, okay, let's dive in and see what the election holds for us tomorrow. Though before we do that, we've just got to select a map, so let's just, click through until I see something that I like. Okay, I won't deny I've spent a fair bit of time just, tinkering in the map maker because I enjoy just, randomly generating maps in Worms Armageddon, but this I quite like, actually. Like, two separate islands, bridges linking them, lots of cover. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Oh yeah, this is what I want to see. Bridges lined with worms who soon are going to be tumbling down onto, explosive barrels, mines, spikes. The spikes are purely decorative, I'll admit. The water's not, though. The water will flipping kill ya. So alright, get time moving along. Let's see what's going on here. And first blood goes to Nigel Farage, and he is just surrounded with targets right now. So, right, let's see who you're going for today. Okay, shuffling towards, Mary Lou MacDonald of Sinn Féin, and blimey! Okay, we're starting off with a bang here today, flipping dynamite, and almost taking Rishi Sunak with her. Into the ward she goes. So, not 100% sure, what she did to annoy Nigel Farage so much, but blimey. And okay, moving over to the Greens, who appear to be, currently, locked in a small cave with David Cameron and David Lammy. They may or may not be able to get out, though she does have, Jeremy Corbyn to assist her, should it be necessary. So, I feel like she's definitely going to shoot David Cameron. Not much love between Tories and Greens. That's perfectly reasonable. And over to me. And in the case it's my turn, all I do is go over to the skip rope and say, no, carry on please, it's absolutely fine. Alright, the UK does not fight back, we simply have stuff done to us, and, oh, blimey. Well, that's not what I was expecting to happen. Keir Starmer had a very open, clear shot at Rishi Sunak, but no, he decided I'm just going to shoot the children in the back of the head. And then I'm going to shoot this head in the back of the head. Yes, I'd be confused too, Keir Starmer. I feel like you missed a very good opportunity to do some very good work here. And speaking of which, you might not get another cocking chance, because now here comes... Never mind. Rishi Sunak also had the opportunity to, attack Keir Starmer, but decided, no. What's more important is, I destroy the environment. There's not enough excrement in the rivers right now. More cocking excrements. I'm going to be honest, guys, the opening we've just had here does not reflect well on either of you as party leaders. Right, over to Ed Davey, leader of the Lib Dems. He's had a lovely campaign, by the way. He's been like, bungee jumping, go-karting, not much politics, but like, he's been having a nice time. And here comes a grenade, and okay, a fair whack of damage to a whole bunch of people there. The bridges are still standing, though. This is not acceptable to me. Over to, a mirror universe Nigel Farage. It's Figel Naraj. Right, the bridge is starting to come apart. Lovely. Just one shot at the Welsh nationalists right there, and okay. Soon the flipping barrels will start exploding. Over to John Swinney, currently to Arthur, the SNP, and okay. Not many great targets floating around, to be honest. Not 100% sure what he's planning to do. There's like, a fair bit of wind dotted about. No grenade, so he's not planning to use the wind too much. And I'm not sure anyone's dead, but they're slowly crowding together as the bridges start coming apart. over to the children, who just kind of, you know, hope that Jeremy Hunt doesn't realise that they're marvellous. Straight over to Angela Rayner, who... Oh, Angela, do it. Please do it. You know you want to do it. You know what you need to do. Don't drop a landmine on the pensioners and... Never mind. She just decided to punch pensioners into the water instead. There was an explosive barrel right there, Angela. You missed a really good opportunity to take care of that. And Liz Truss won't because, well, okay, she shouldn't, but she's Liz Truss, so God only knows what Liz Truss is going to do. Okay, down come the Welsh nationalists. Not a bad shot, all things considered, though less damage than I was expecting, given, you know, there was the whole squish landing effect. And she decides, you know, the second barrel might be overkill or whatnot. Right, over to Daisy Cooper, deputy leader of the Lib Dems, and, come on. Someone has got to detonate that barrel. Like, you know, it's right there. Oh, that's what I cocking wanted to see. Lovely. Now. Vigil Naraj is dead. The poor people are already dead. That's pushed Penny Mordaunt onto a mine, so the nonsense hasn't stopped yet. And now, okay, there's about to be a cascade of complete and total nonsense, which I appreciate. So, hang on. The poor people are definitely dead. Dave are badly damaged. Hang on, I think Penny Mordaunt might just be alive, defending herself with her gigantic sword right there. Magnificent. And over to Reform again. And they are ignoring the cost of living crisis instead. I'm not 100% sure what they were trying to do there. Possibly they were going for Rachel Reeves. It just didn't quite work out right. So, right, over to Renap Yorworth. I did look up a pronunciation guide ahead of the, yes, Welsh nationalists. And nice, solid, chunky shot against Angela Rayner there. Obviously, you know, there's going to be a fair bit of competition in the Welsh seats between Labour and the Welsh nationalists. So, right, over to the cost of living crisis. Don't you worry. We'll just, you know, pass and sit here right next to the waterline. No trouble whatsoever. And Yvette Cooper. Not so many obvious targets here. She might end up going for Brexit just because, yeah, there's not that many people to go for. And 2-1. Never mind. Decided the children hadn't had enough punishment yet. Dear flippin' dear. Right, over to, hang on, that is a Conservative, but I can't see who right now. A name ending in Y. Who's that gonna be? You just laid a mine, didn't you? Oh dear. There might be about to be more cocky chaos here. Is that going to detonate? That did detonate the flames. So, right. Daisy Cooper and Wes Streeting doing the I'm on fire dance right now. That never cocking helps. And Nigel Farage goes down in the explosion. The economy, however, is looking okay for the time being. I'm amazed not more than one person went down, mind. Reform, struggling a bit here. Definitely struggling a bit. Though Nigel Bot 4000 is in a good position to not be under attack very much at all. And meanwhile, yes, Nigel Farage's alternative replacement clone, she might be able to get something done too. There's a lot of very weak people right here. Odd choice to go for the Welsh nationalists there, especially given that did not do that much damage at all. And, you know, Penny Mordaunt is right there with 2 hit points, but whatever. Right, over to Gavin Robinson, current leader of the, yes, DUP, interim leader, I believe. And 1 grenade straight at Ed Miliband. But not really the best grenade. Obviously, you know, when you're there, you really want to be blasting people into the sea. 35 damage and not in the sea, that's a bit of a waste. Oh, and speaking of which, Ed Miliband might want some cocking revenge, actually. So, 2-1. No, he failed to do it as well. In fact, yes, you did even less. That was even cocking worse. So, right, David Cameron recently exploded. Now has to choose, yes, does he want to go for Labour or the Greens? And by the looks of it, okay, he's probably... You know what, that may have done more damage because it hit 2 people. And on top of that, yes, it kind of opens the way to escape. Right, over to Sarah Green, a relatively little-known Lib Dem. If you've not heard of these Lib Dems, don't worry. They're not on, like, you know, TV that often. Not that surprising, though. That might have just been a very, very significant blimey. Right, that's Penny Mordaunt dead. And what's the knock-on effect? No more deaths, but Grant Shapps is on his knees, not looking happy about life. So, right, over to Nigel Bot 4000. Oh, yeah. Just desperately trying to do something to Rachel Reeves, though might be willing to knock off Gavin Robinson if the opportunity presents itself too. Jeremy Corbyn might be wanting to, you know, pick a fight with Labour after their recent falling out, might be more willing to focus on... Oh no, it's revenge, It was kind of revenge, but it didn't work very well, right? And the NHS is literally hiding down here and hoping no one notices it. Beautiful. Over to, yes, Wes Streeting. Speaking of the NHS, yes, he's Shadow Health Minister. And a lovely shot against Theresa May right there. Straight up, straight down. Over to Jeremy Hunt and... okay. Seriously, the two parties are just standing there, not doing anything, not getting involved. But is that about to change, or... okay, Jeremy Hunt might not attack Keir Starmer because Rishi Sunak would be in the blast radius. That's a very real possibility, so... okay, there's a mine there, and... I feel like you didn't do a good job getting out of the way of the mine. So, right. 45. Is that going to be enough for a kill? No, not cocking quite. Back over to Ed Davey. Lib Dems currently, yes, kind of have a little nice cluster round here. And it looks to me like they're going for... everyone keeps just, like, you know, gently nudging Gavin Robinson, but it's never in the right direction. Right, back over to Melissa Farage, currently surrounded by a handful of Tories, I think. Actually, maybe it's just one of these days. And a lovely explosion there. Now, I'm pretty sure that's enough to get, yes, Daisy Cooper explodes. Is that enough to trigger any more explosions? Or have we just got more and more people? No, not yet. But, like, you know, there's a lot of very wounded people down at the bottom of the kill bridges. So, next up. Very light up against David Lammy. Yeah, the Greens not willing to attack David Cameron when Jeremy Corbyn is so close by. And finally, Rachel Reeves gets a go. Problem is, yes, what's she going to do? The wind is not favourable, and with that Miliband right there, never mind, it's cocking airstrikes, and... literally one missile makes it in for 15 damage. Right, bit aggressive towards the Welsh nationalists there, but you know, we've seen Labour and them are duking it out already. Now we've got more cocking airstrikes, and finally one is actually good, marvellous. So, okay, that there was... wait, who was that? I can't remember who that was now, sorry, I forgot who that was. Tim Farron for the Lib Dems, firing in towards, oh, the economy! That was a good, meaty attack on the economy. What did the economy ever do to you, Tim Farron? Dear oh flippin' dear. And, yes, at this point, I think Nigel Botter's got to just be focusing on doing whatever they can. And, blimey! A good hit there. Rachel Reeves does indeed go down. That was a very, very nice attack. Still, Labour looking in a pretty positive position. Meanwhile... okay, that was, yes, the SNP taking a shot at Brexit. Another party that does not like Brexit, not too surprising. And the children are just, you know, desperately clinging on to life for the time being. Oh, but David Lammy has got a great, great shot here. Like, oh, this is going to do a lot of cocking damage. This could be like, you know, highest damaging shot of the match, potentially. And... very nice. Very, very nice indeed. But I doubt it's enough to get any kills, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Nope. I'm not. Now, Rishi, Kia, are you two planning to do anything at any point? Or the slightest tap? In fact, no, you did more damage to yourself than to your opponent. Your attack actually was, yes, more self-destructive than anything else. And given flipping Rishi's campaign, I'm not surprised, but blimey hell. Okay, so it turns out Sarah Green is, kicking ass and taking names. You've never heard of her before today, but I swear she's done more damage than anybody else on the field right now. Back over to Reform. Is she going to try and strike back at Sarah Green? No, she's looking to, you know, maybe finish off some of the trouble over here. So, more people badly wounded. There's a lot of wounded people, especially down lower in the field. So we'll have to keep an eye on all of them. One shot at, yeah, David Lammy, but... maybe the wrong target. You might have been able to finish off David Cameron. You're not going to finish off David Lammy. And finally, John Healy, hidden round the back of these plants, gets a go. Now, can you do anything to, yes, Nigel Bot 4000? I don't think you can. I think you're just kind of, yes, stuck where you are. You might not be able to fit through that gap above the plant on the right. So, okay. Theresa May is still alive, just and... she might be able to do a lot of good work, but no. She's more interested in, yes, reform. Though, it's not enough. Theresa May fluffs it. That was kind of an important shot for her to make. I feel like she's going to regret that very soon indeed. And Lib Dem's just determined to get rid of Ed Miliband, and they do as well. That was a lovely, lovely shot. Though at this point, yes, I'm not sure whether reform is going to... never mind, it's airstrike time, and... Reform just took out Brexit. Okay, like, you know, the machine can't be right about everything. Sometimes the machine's going to toss up some really odd results. Like, you know, that's the cocky plot twist of the game right there. Right, meanwhile, the Greens doing more damage to David Lammy. Everyone is now looking very, very wounded indeed. The economy is just on its own. Everyone's leaving it alone for the time being, so that's nice. And, seriously, guys, are you planning to do anything right now? Because, like, what I'm getting out of this is both of these leaders are incredibly incompetent and neither's doing a good job. And stop bombing the NHS! Rishi Sunak is right there! Okay, now surely David Cameron can get a kill here. Like, there's so many weak targets. Like, honestly, I feel like Dynamite might be, you know, overdoing it a bit. That is not necessary, but you know what? It got the cocky job done. Right, back up to the sniper nest the Lib Dems live in at this point, and please leave the economy alone. What did the economy do to you? Though, actually, I think he is using the economy as a weapon. The economy is going to attack Angela Rayner. That's enough to kill her too, meaning the Lib Dems are almost first. I'm not sure what to do with this information. In fact, bloody hell, the Lib Dems are looking extraordinarily strong, actually. Okay, not sure what to do with this information. And blimey, that was a good shot from Reform right there. That's got to have finished off, yes, Theresa May and also Wes Streeting behind Theresa May. So, right. The giant kill bowl is finally almost cocking empty. But John Swinney is just, you know, chilling out here doing his own thing. Though, with the wind where it is, this could be a very good opportunity. No, with a grenade, he's not going for the trick shot instead. I think that was, well, actually, it could have been, you know, Labour or the Conservatives. SNP, not a big fan of either, to be honest. So, yes, not sure who they were really going for. NHS still just chilling out, hoping that Keir Starmer stops beating them with a stick, please. And next, over to Yvette Cooper. Can you actually get out of this lovely... Oh, hang on. It was almost something. Okay, back to the vicious monster that is Sarah Green. And... calling in the airstrikes on this occasion. And very, I was about to say very good. I mean, I think Reform might have just been defeated. Now, hang on, I think Melissa's still alive. Yeah, Melissa's still alive. But you did also just take out, was that the cost of living crisis? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? The metaphor's a bit unclear, I'll admit. Right, the Greens are also still in the hole with a David Cameron, but they're just calling in airstrikes too, and... okay, the Greens just got cocking sick of Labour and the Conservatives, you know, playing nicely and not really getting on with business, so she just decided, screw it, I'm going to airstrike all of you. Though it was Rishi Sunak that went down slightly faster. And also, oh, I think she also killed the children and Jeremy Hunt, but like mainly the children's what we're concerned about. And the big question on everyone's lips, is John Healey going to get out of his bloody hole before the match is over? Or is he just going to, like, you know, hang out down here and just do his own thing? So, okay. David Cameron actually up next. So, right, this might be an opportunity too. Very nicely done. That was exactly the right move. Just using a tiny bit of physics to push the Greens into the water. So, right, David Cameron is now, like, you know, securely tucked away in a bunker. And I'm assuming that, yes, as time goes by, the Lib Dems are going to try and blast their way to him. So, yeah. We've got, like, you know, Labour figures on the left and down bottom. We've got, like, you know, the last tiny leftover bit of... almost destroyed yourself there, dear, I flippin' dear. But it's the Lib Dems who are looking dominant. Like, they have got an incredibly strong position right now. Okay, Keir. Don't do it, Keir. Keir, no. Stop it. I feel like even if Labour wins this fight, we should take out of this that, you know, Keir has not been the best leader in many ways. I think Yvette Cooper can't do much this turn. Not with the win like that. In fact, you know what? She's decided to teleport right into the middle of cocking Lib Dem space. Ballsy. Incredibly ballsy. And yeah, David Cameron just needs to slowly start blasting his way out. Possibly towards John Swinney. Now, the vicious monster that is Sarah Green presumably is going to be... you know what? She doesn't care about Reform anymore. She knows they're done. She's got her eyes on cocking David Cameron, alright? She wants a bigger scalp to her name today. And this is the point where Yvette Cooper might regret, yes, teleporting into Lib Dem headquarters. Oh, yeah, that was a pretty solid hit. Won't be 50 damage, only 32 in fact, less than I was expecting. But she probably shouldn't have teleported there. That wasn't necessarily a good pick. And that was looking like a good shot from Reform towards Tim Farron, but no. There was just a tiny, tiny bit of rock there. I didn't even see it, so I don't blame them for fluffing that shot. And with the wins it is. I was wondering if they were going for a trick shot, but no. John Swinney has got his eyes on Keir Starmer. He's not resting till Keir Starmer's dead. Though I've no idea what Keir Starmer's going to do at this point. Maybe teleports? No, literally just skip his turn because he can't be bothered to do anything. Oh, and finally, yes, Tim Farron gets the right wind he needs to do a fantastic shot down to Melissa Farage, bringing an end to the Farage dynasty. So, right, Reformer drops out, and honestly, yes, they had a lot of trouble. Remember, that's when we try and analyse the data and interpret it, and, oh, hang on, Yvette Cooper's coming. Completely fluffed the grenade. Very unfortunate there. Like, I feel like she really needed that shot to work. Okay, bigger news. I think David Cameron just opened up a hole between him and Tim Farron. So at this point, yes, if they decide they want to, they could probably start laying down some fire on Cameron, but instead, okay. The Lib Dems have turned their attention onto John Swinney. Now, that makes sense, because the Lib Dems, they wouldn't mind taking some seats in Scotland, and John Swinney is the SNP. He most definitely doesn't want to let them. But for the time being, he is still way more focused on Keir Starmer, who is just sitting there doing cocking nothing. And finally, he teleports, though... Oh, I think he's going to regret that. He's just teleported into the cocking firing line of Sarah Green, the unstoppable monster of the Lib Dem. She's made some brilliant shots this round, so... okay. Who's up next? It's Tim Farron. Has a decent shot at David Cameron, potentially, and is he going for it? He is going for it! But okay. Sends of flames are floating all around the place. Didn't get to Cameron, but I feel like at this point, the sky is pretty cocky clear. And with all the teleportation, John Swinney is now basically alone. Passes his turn, in fact. So, okay, Yvette Cooper, you need to actually do something that's not just sitting there in a hole. Because you teleported into the Lib Dem base, and then just sort of didn't do anything. Okay, if Tim Farron's got a shot at, yeah, Cameron, then Cameron's got a shot at Tim Farron, and... I mean, that's some damage. Tim Farron is dangerously close to falling into the pit. Though, admittedly, yes, down in the pit, well, bare minimum, Keir Starmer's waiting for him. Though not for long, I expect, because... I think you just had a lucky cooking escape, Keir.
Watch this.
And John Swinney has decided to set himself on fire. John Healy, almost at long cocking last, has done a blimey. Some damage to Sarah Green. Only like 8 points. But like, you know, it's better than nothing, I guess. And back over to Ed Davey. And that was, you know, a very risky shot, all things considered. But, oh, blimey, it paid off. That was lovely. Just the slightest touch, but that's all that was needed. And John Swinney decided to, yeah, stay on his side of the map. Probably very sensible. Just, you know, much, much higher up. So he's actually got a cocking shot. And with a win like that... I was about to say, Keir Starmer's actually about to do something, but no. No, he's not. He's been cocking hopeless. And hang on, I think John Swinney might never mind a close mess. Right, at this point, yeah, Lib Dem versus SNP is like, you know, the hottest war that's going on right now. Which is wild, but whatever. And with the win like that, lovely, lovely shot! Is Tim Farron alive, or is the... Oh, just with three hit points, meaning... Okay, Yvette Cooper, you've got to do something. Like, literally anything. Never mind, she's decided to go for John Swinney, and it was close, I'll give you. That was really, really close. I thought that was a hit, but... Okay. Sarah Green could probably... Okay, she's decided she's had enough of Yvette Cooper in, you know, Lib Dem headquarters. That's no longer acceptable. She's cutting her way through. Though John Healy might have something to say about that in a second. And here we flipping go. Complete waste of a shot from Healy, but Labour are back in the lead. I'm not sure how Labour are in the lead, to be honest. Like, every time I'm looking at them, I swear, they seem to be doing not very well. Yet somehow they're in the lead. And another surprise teleportation, this time from Ed Davey, to get a bit of space between him and Yvette Cooper, though I feel like he's going to regret that, because Yeah, I thought you might. That was maybe a bad decision. Right, so now the Liberal Democrats have lost their high ground advantage. Now, okay, Kia, you've literally just got to drop a little bit of a... You know what? Keir Starmer finally did something useful. It took some time, but that was a sensible decision. Putting, yes, the Labour Party comfortably in the lead now. Though, okay, first, they've got to defeat Sarah Green. And Sarah Green has done a lot of damage. And John Swinney might be willing to join forces with the Lib Dems on this. I feel like that's coming for Yvette Cooper. That's a good shot, but I don't think it's 38 points of damage. It was 39! Never mind. This might not be decided yet, though. What the cock do we do if the Lib Dems win? Right, in comes a grenade. One light tap there. So, okay, it's going to be very difficult for her to defeat John Healey. Especially with 5 punches. That's 30 points of damage just flat. So, yeah. He's still got 70. But that does mean it's going to be very difficult for anyone else to attack her. So, okay, John Swinney is just slowly breaking through everything. Marvellous. Presumably back to, yes, Keir Starmer. He's done his one useful thing for the game, so I'm assuming he's going to go back to completely cocking useless. Yeah, he's turned over to the SNP right now. He's just leaving the Lib Dems up to John Healey. Though, you know what? I'd forgotten that, of course. Do bear in mind, because there are 2 Labour figures on the field, and only 1 Lib Dem, Sarah Green gets twice as many turns. Oh, that could change everything. Especially if John Swinney can... Oh, blimey, that was a good hit. Hang on, this might not be over. Right, he's got to do 50 damage to... that was only 30. The problem is, if she takes him out with, like, 2 more 5 punches, he'll take her back out with, yeah, the flipping explosion. I don't think she can. Well, then again, I don't know. Depends on the blast radius and the exact position they fall into. But she's going to get another go before he does. They're just punching each other right now. This has become a brutal smackdown at the bottom of the map. Like, just tiredly punching each other in the face. And speaking of which, after another fluffed Keir Starmer shot... Well, that was a weird decision. Maybe she realised she can't do it without herself dying, so she chose not to. Now it's all up to John Swinney. John Swinney could... Oh, that looks like a good shot to me. That could be 30 points of damage. John Swinney may well be the worm of the match. The SNP has just taken out Keir Starmer. Meaning there's now nothing left, but... I have a feeling that what's about to happen right now is those 2 worms are just going to take each other out. Because the explosion is going to... How are we going to interpret this information? Okay, so, in conclusion, according to, yes, the most advanced political simulation machine in existence, the winner of the UK general election is going to be the SNP. Which doesn't even stand in more than a small percentage of the seats, so literally can't win. But, okay, like, this takes some interpretation. Okay, like, we don't necessarily interpret it entirely literally. What we should take away from this is, the Lib Dems are gonna do great, alright? Way better than predicted. They are gonna do absolutely brilliantly. Reform, however, never really got started. They just sort of fizzled out without doing anything. Their seats are not going to materialise. It's going to be the Lib Dems that have the big breakthrough. Now, Labour may still win, but maybe it won't be by as much as what the polling is saying right now. Though, yes, this does definitely imply that the SNP are going to do better than expected, which is... that feels unlikely. Like, it feels very likely the SNP are going to lose a fair number of seats. But who am I to question Worms Armageddon? Maybe the most important lesson we could take out of this is, if you're ever walking down the street and you see a Lib Dem coming towards you, just toss your wallet on the ground and run. Because they are vicious, unstoppable bastards who will stop at nothing to achieve their goals. So okay, on that delightful revelation, let's ramp things up there. That there was Worms Armageddon, the political simulation machine for the general election 2024, and... okay, I feel like, you know, on this occasion, we may not have got it 100% right. But you know what? Keep an eye on the results tomorrow. You never flipping know. Maybe my system is more accurate than every other pundit in the world. We shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Worms Armageddon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Wait, and flamethrower! 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 Okay, so this is definitely morally questionable. The point where you start singing the flamethrower song, potentially you've gone over the line.